Cardiovascular disease, history, myths, and real solutions. Some history is that this actually goes way back. Like in ancient Egypt, there were tombs that were dug up with mummies that had atherosclerosis. They had CT scans done which had shown reminiscences of heart disease. And atherosclerosis is basically hardening of the arteries. So some possible factors, they had a lot of grains back then, and something similar happened in Arabia as well. So for the purpose of the heart, we know that it's made up of striated or involuntary muscle tissue. The heart is primarily muscle. The heart vortexes and flows the blood to maintain balance. The blood gets energized by contracting. Contrary to popular belief, the heart also stops blood in order to maintain homeostasis. Speed of blood flow is determined by the energy demands of the tissues. The heart is a pump, but it primarily does it within the own heart instead of the whole body. Blood is also able to flow on its own. So let's get into the truth about cholesterol. Now, we have HDL and LDL. Now, that stands for high density lipoprotein and low density lipoprotein. Now, did I say cholesterol in any of those? No. That's because these are carrier molecules which help to get the cholesterol to where it needs to go. The HDL is much less likely to get caught up in the arteries, and LDL is more likely. Well, that's actually not the full story. It's not the LDL, it's something called VLDL, or very low dense lipoprotein. Now, this is a type of LDL that gets caught up in the arteries, and that only gets formed by the LDL becoming oxidized via high amounts of inflammation or high amounts of glucose in the body. So yes, cholesterol can be a problem, but you have to keep in mind that 90% of cholesterol is made from our own livers in our own body. We make it because it's important. 10% is only diet. And what are the actual benefits of cholesterol? Why do we have it? Well, one, it helps the synthesis of vitamin D from the sun. Like the UVB light interacts with cholesterol in our skin to create vitamin D. It also helps with cellular structure, cellular membranes, very important for the brain. It's a seed of hormones such as sex hormones, creation of myelin or nerve transduction. Like cholesterol is a very important molecule in the body. We don't hear that. We just hear that it's a harmful thing. And it can be, but it's more so about the ratios. Like you want to have anywhere from a 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 LDL to HDL ratio. Also the amounts of cholesterol and the different types. Generally staying healthy will help this and not have oxidized cholesterol, which is really the root of the issue. Something that should be mentioned with heart disease is that even though this is blamed so much for heart disease, the cholesterol is only high in about 50% of people with the heart disease. So if that's responsible for the issue, then why do half people not even have it? So now let's get into statins, which are a billion-dollar industry. Like they have their place, especially with people who have recent heart attacks, but ultimately, like your body does not have heart disease because it's deficient in a statin. All right, these are treating symptoms and not getting to the root cause. Statins inhibit the formation of cholesterol by stopping an enzyme for the conversion process. The thing about drugs is it's not just one thing that affects. Like everything is interconnected. If we affect one thing, it's going to affect everything. So what does diminishing cholesterol do? Well, for one, it dramatically increases your risk of diabetes, like upwards of 30 to 50% due to insulin resistance. Also, it depletes something called CoQ10, or coenzyme Q10, which is very important for the heart. So we have something you're taking for the heart that actually depletes the most important nutrient, or coenzyme Q10. And these things are often not even talked about. So everything has its place. It's more so about asking questions, and better questions lead to better answers. Better answers lead to different actions that we need to take. So let's actually get into how we can improve heart health. The number one nutrient for heart health is magnesium, which is actually the most concentrated part of the body with that nutrient. And magnesium is responsible for over 650 biochemical processes that we know about, which means that there are 650 things that your body can't do or can't do well without magnesium. Magnesium increases prostacyclin and nitric oxide, which is acting as a vasodilator for the heart. It happens to relax the endothelial cells of the arteries, helps blood flow in the arteries to relax. Now, food first, but the issue is that the soil is very depleted, so much so that 80% of the population happens to be deficient in magnesium. So when we talk about magnesium, we will talk about the green foods. So green leafy vegetables, chocolate is a great source, and supplementation may be a good idea. So magnesium citrate, malate, threonate. Like there's a lot of different forms of magnesium. It's the best to get as much as you can, but that's why we get real food first because it has all these combined together for proper absorption. Number two is to reduce stress. Stress increases inflammation and high blood glucose, which in turn damages the heart. Taking up nervous system practices to help relax, such as meditation. Meditation can be thought of as brain training, training the mind to be more relaxed in the face of chaos, being able to manage our responses. How valuable is it to be focused and relaxed in a world of distractions? Number one stress hormone is cortisol, and finding ways to regulate this is going to be very beneficial. Other things like qigong, socializing, healthy relationships, all these things help foster connections, which in turn is going to be good for the heart. Lastly, I'm going to get into a process called earthing. So humans have always been connected to the earth 24/7, up until very recent times. And the thing is that we know we are electromagnetic beings, which is why doctors use things like EKGs and EEGs to measure the electricity coming from the body. And we know this because we can get shocked. We are conductive beings. And the thing is that when it comes to antioxidants, these are designed to neutralize free radicals. And a free radical is an essentially unpaired electron. And antioxidants are free electrons. Unpaired electron needs a free electron or antioxidant in order to be neutralized. Now the Earth is brimming with these free electrons. And when we get connected to the Earth, we're able to absorb these. It's been shown over and over again. And we're also conductive due to our mineral content in the body. So getting connected to the grass, the sand, the soil. A study done in the Journal of Everin Published Health shows that by being connected to the Earth, we are absorbing these free electrons. And it has various positive effects on the body. This is just our input that we need. Just like nutrition, sleep, exercise, getting connected to nature is very important. Very important for our biology and overall well-being. Getting antioxidants from the source, because getting it from food is great, but getting it from the actual source and help produce our own antioxidants is always going to be number one. A study published in the Journal of Inflammation Res shows that getting connected to the earth helps balance the body, restore balance, and reduce inflammatory markers. Earthing also increases the charge of red blood cells, which reduces aggregation and clumping. A study done in the Journal of Scientific Research showed that getting connected to the earth increased blood flow to the torso, the brain, and the face. So just doing this for 20 minutes per day, more if you can, getting connected to the earth, relaxing the mind, and staying connected to what is real.